whatever reminded you, let me know. Um, Angie, I love how you jumped over from YouTube over here. That was smooth.
Yeah, it was. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Thank you very much.
So I was sitting here actually working. That Lori is live on YouTube.
Oh,
So I'm
phone
like, oh,
notification.
Lori, let's go see what she's talking about.
Oh, super. So the phone notifications, they work well. Awesome. That's good to know.
Yep.
That's
And I am on your email list, but I haven't looked at my from you. But the YouTube notification is
okay.
what tipped me off.
Okay, that's good to know. I have noticed, I'm trying to figure out, I noticed there's a fair amount of people on my email list that are, it's not being opened. And I know some people are like, I'm looking for it, that it went to spam and then it went to spam so long that then like preferences need to change. And so I need to hire an IT specialist because it's not my specialty and we'll figure that one out when it gets there. But, I have an idea for a topic, which I have lots of fun things here. It totally doesn't have to go that way, but um, not cooking show, but possible tools that you have already at home that you can use for massage. Ah, right? Crazy stuff. I got an idea on that one. So I've got all my cool little tricks and tools of like a bath brush. It's fun. As a massage therapist, it's important to know how you can do self massage because we can't touch anybody right now. I have done though. I have done a couple massages since. I thankfully am not. I mean, I'm my own employer, so I don't have to. I'm in the box, but I don't have that pressure of wondering if I'm doing it right or whatever. It's like I know the regulations. It's just me. I don't have to do those things. So it has. I have to say, the first massage that I gave, besides my family, was just great to see someone else and touch them. I was like, yay! I'm such a hugger and a toucher that it's just a big deal. Um, so I don't know if we're gonna stay small group or not. I'm totally okay if you guys want to come off mute and just yap back and forth. If you have loud backgrounds, I totally understand that you stay on mute. But my topic came from inspiration of I was asked by a client to do some videos on how to do foam rolling at home and self foam rolling tools and all the different things. And then it just gets into self massage tools, why it is important, why it feels so good when you use them the right way. Okay, because it's always a chance of not being able to use them the right way. And that's what I like to make sure that goes into it. Because some people get so crazy militant about foam rolling that it's almost detrimental to what's going on. So a lot of people with foam rollers will like annihilate the heck out of their uh, IT bands. Hold on, I gotta admit people from the waiting room. Thank you. Um, they're like, I gotta roll my IT band, and then it's like this crazy, absolute torture. And I'm like, it's not supposed to be that way. You're not supposed to torture yourself with foam rollers. So um, that's one of the things that just brought up the topic today. And then if you know, if you're not annihilating it, what are the levels of self massage that you should be doing? And that's where I got into all these sorts of things. So I'm going to share some cool education on the types of self massage you can do at home and whether it is with a roller or not. I did get a really cool I did an unboxing video even. I feel really trendy. A new set of these cool things from Trigger Point that, look like you should just be able to go transport yourself and roll around outside. But there's a big one, there's a small one that these are really fun as well. So I think I said something about that. I think there's more types of rollers out there than there are flavors of ice cream, but someone can prove me wrong on that one because there's a lot of both on that sort of thing. But one of the main things for massage and why it's good is the touch of something. All right, so the connection to the skin. is really important. Yes, actual human touch is needed and is, it's a necessity. So I hope that we're all going to come back on to this whole effort of um, we get to touch people again because, they've shown with babies and infants, if they don't get touched, then their health goes down dramatically. So anyway, I could go down that whole rabbit hole in a heartbeat. But one cool thing about touch and your nerve sensations is something, this little tool. It comes in a bunch of different things. Granted, this is Rock Tape's version. It's called a 2-point discrimination tool. So if you see, there's these points are further apart. These points are closer. And then this one is closest. Okay, right? So you see how the 2 points get closer and closer together? So there's this nerve test to where you have someone have an area of pain or discomfort that they have, okay? And you have them look away so they can't see what you're doing. And then you try to, as level as possible, push down and then say 1 or 2 points. Do you feel 1 or 2 points? And, with this big one, they're kind of like, okay, that's 2. And especially if I mess up and I go like this, they're like, yep, that's 2 points. So that would be 2 points. Then you move to the next one and see if they can still feel 2 points of discrimination. And what's really interesting is usually in the areas where you have the crap going on, there is less discrimination. So even on this big one, they'll be like, oh, that's 1. And they can't even feel the differences. So cool science that more and more stimulation of the nerves is what's really important when you're trying to heal something. So thus brings me into, if you don't have these cool tools, you can, I don't know, probably make one. I think you can download and print it out on like cardstock or something and be okay. But the point being that sometimes really painful parts have a lack of sensation. Sometimes they have a heightened sensation. But this is why I have my my home tools on how you can figure out different ways to kind of intrigue the nerve endings in different ways. So the brush is one thing that a lot of people have actually, this is something called gua sha. I think it's Guasha, ancient Chinese secret that's been around a really long time. That's actually like brushing of the skin, not like trying to rub it off. I guess many different levels, but if you have a really painful part, so like maybe low back, I have someone who's in his 80s and just chronic pain a lot of times. Sometimes there's too much sensation, so just a little bit of really light touching is kind of just bringing an awareness to that skin and helpful. All right. Someone who I was talking to this week has had elbow pain. I look back, it was 2 years right now. He's had the elbow pain. It won't go away. And it's like, well, let's floss, let's push, let's, do all these things. And now we're like, hey, how about something just really light? Let it heal, let it calm down for the healing process, right? So you can even use the back of a spoon. Super smooth. And this is where a lot of science is coming out, and it a lot of people who are all about pushing hard and trigger points and elbows and go deep or it's not going to work really don't love this concept and can't understand at all how it's going to work, right? So it's something to where less sometimes is more, right? And when less is more, you really can find out different ways to deregulate your nervous system and have you calm down. I think lately we're all in this really heightened, I can just share from experience in our house, it's off. It's just been long enough, even with my positive attitude and great mindset. We try to come on back. We're all off, okay? And it takes its toll. And that just right there is like too much sensation. So sometimes the littlest bit really helps calm you. So now I'm wondering if I should just peacefully go somewhere with my spoon and it'll be okay, right? It's about being creative with different things. Yes, if you have really sore calves, a little bit of foam rolling is great. That I don't have my impact gun the massage impact gun is almost too much if someone's super sore. So a lot of my CrossFit folks did a workout on Monday, the Murph, for Memorial Day. Everybody's super sore. And sometimes it's so sore that the impact gun's too much, the rolling's too much. So that's where all those vibration rollers are super helpful. And then the less is more. So that's where, even if you're just wicked sore in an area, you just be like, hey, it's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. And actually, that little bit helps the healing process, helps the circulation, all those sorts of things. All right. So it's all about getting better and then getting better as quick as possible. I don't know anyone who's patient with their healing process. It's really frustrating if you're in pain. So the other one, catch me if I'm going too fast and jump in. Does that make sense? Like nervous system, you don't want to push it. Like, siblings, they know the button to push that really aggravate you. Same thing with your body. If you just keep pushing the same button too much, it's going to get overstimulated and not under. So then this next tool that I brought down, this is like super high quality. I've used it too much and I've cut it, I think, with a knife and whatever, but this is the actual silicone spatulas, not the fake ones, to where the silicone spatulas are actually really kind of nice. They grab the skin and you can move the skin around. So I actually showed this to my dad because he's having some neck stuff. And I was like, really, the tissues just need some ungluing. And I don't want him to wrap rock floss around his neck. That is frowned upon. Don't do that. So something like this can actually grab the skin and move it around. You can't really see it too well right now, but I can just move the skin layer around, right? And it stems from, I got these great tools that are, they're called blades from Rock Tape. They are based off of the, have any of you had Graston done to them? A lot of physical therapists, Graston is another tool that's metal that honestly, it's really intense. As a massage therapist, I saw this for the first time, Graston stuff, and I was like, why does anyone want to do that? They take the metal and they just really they're like, if I go back and forth hard enough and bruise it up, yeah, it's going to be good for you.
Painful. It's very painful. I have bruises all over my shoulders.
Okay, but was it helpful in the long run?
He put rock tape on top of it. It was a chiropractor a couple of years ago, and I think it did help because I carry a lot of tension up here, and he broke up a bunch of stuff, I guess. I don't know. It did feel better. My husband wanted to go punch him in the face because I was so bruised. But I'm like, no, it's supposed to be like that.
Right.
But it looked ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly, and it's something to where, I took this class out of curiosity because I'm like, what is this? And tell me why you're bruising people so much and how that's helpful. Like, yeah, it increases the circulation and blood flow. It looks like bruising. I mean, it's called a haptic response. It's the same thing that you'll get with cupping a little bit. Well, cupping's decompression, and it's but you get bruises from the cupping is different from the pressure. All right. Less is more is really what we're finding in a lot of science, that it might take a little bit longer or be different, but that's what these tools are really fun because you can heat them up, you can cool them down. They've got cool angles that you can really glide nicely on. And then what was the kicker is that, the next level, they're like, oh, and then we have these cases. So it's really fun that I can put this outer case on. And then I've got this silicone cover that now grabs the skin really well, okay, which is super cool on scars, all right, and scar tissue. You can really get in levels on that. And then you're all like, well, I want one of those. And you're like, well, you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars to do that or for the education because the silicone spatula is the same silicone, right? It just makes me look fancy. I could do the same thing on the scars with a silicone spatula. So that's why I just need everybody to know you too can work on your scars. And you too can unglue your stuff and tell your spouse or whoever you have at home, hey, will you rub this on me? And they'll just be like, what? Really gently, like just brush it on me. Maybe I'll do a video, a how to, so you don't sound absolutely insane doing that whole thing, right? But seriously, they're kind of the same. Um, this is more ergonomic because I'm using it more often. This is not too bad, gotta say. But I have noticed that I have cheaper spatulas that they're a weird mix of plastic and silicone, I guess. I don't know exactly. The actual silicone grabs really nicely. And then the other cover that's for this blade is a tool like this. It looks like it's kind of like a comb. So essentially it's going to make it more like the brush and the same sort of thing. You know, so it's something to where, you know how it feels really good when someone like plays with your hair, right, Richard? You know this? Or even my husband shaves his head as well. And so even on a bald head or any, you know, just that light touch, right? When your mom would scratch your back or, you know, stuff like that, that feels really good. It's comforting. There's a huge value to that. Okay. So not all massage, going to or self massage has to be torture, elbows, knees, you know, whatever. It can be lighter and still have an effect. I think sometimes people just feel like they have to be super sore, workouts or otherwise, to do that sort of thing. So do any of you have rollers or any sort of self-massage stuff that you use right now? Oh, a mini rumble roller. I don't have the small one. I have the big, large ones. But sometimes that's pretty intense, right?
It hurts. I don't use it as much as I would like because it air and it knocks out, stuck fat. I think I need to get a regular roller without. I think that might be easier. Yeah, I think would that be less painful?
It would be, or just take a hand towel out of your bathroom and wrap it in a hand towel. Yeah, so
Okay.
just kind of dumb it down, tone it down with a hand towel. Or are you on the floor using it, like with your body weight?
Yeah.
Because the other thing you can do, especially if it's for your back, is do it against a wall. So it's not your full body weight on it. It's going to be less body weight on it. Because I love the little nubs on that. They do tend to get into different areas. So try the hand towel or try it in a vertical, or I don't know, maybe you have a cool angle on your house to do it less.
Well, that'd help a lot because yeah, I'd like to use it more for my neck. Usually, I'll watch TV and roll back and forth on my neck, but then after a while, I'm like, okay, I can't take it any longer. It hurts too much.
Right, and sometimes, yeah, there's going to be a sweet spot of timing on any kind of massage or treatments that you have. There's going to be a sweet spot that you can go too much because it's just over sensitized, right? It's just you upregulated it and it's all like, oh, okay, we're done. That's when you need to then go grab your spoon and then just start doing this. So
Okay.
start with that one and then move to the spoon and see how that goes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And tell me all the things that your family asks you, or you're like, what are you doing with a spoon?
My husband's used to my weird requests.
There you go. That'll be good. Oh, well, then for sure, take a picture. Send it to me. I got my spoon crew that's going to come out here with all your different massage tools. Who else uses anything at home? Do you roll or self-massage or anything like that? Any of y'all?
I have one of those crooks here at work. I'm at work now.
Oh, the little canes, the Theracanes, or
Yeah.
And I like
Works
those.
pretty well. I never know really what I'm doing. I just hold it until, for like 40 seconds until I think it's an acupressure thing, right?
Yeah. So trigger point, acupressure point is what you're wanting to kind of look for. So it's something that yes, you kind of glide, have bigger strokes at first and then narrow in and you're like, oh, that's the spot. Again, I wouldn't annihilate it, but you get enough pressure and breathe into it. And if it's letting go as you're doing that, all is good. That's the good thing. Just know that you can overdo that. Um, and I always like people to know if it's not working for longer than a couple of days of relief, then it might be the wrong location. Okay, so with your, if it's those upper back, neck, trap spots, it's
Right.
usually because the head is forward and then those muscles are all lengthened and over lengthened. So you really want to do less massage because massage helps lengthen. And think about it in the front. So I have used those. The S canes, I think, is the one that I've had. I've actually flipped it around and gotten a really good couple of spots here in the front that help open you up more. And then it turns off the one in the back just by doing that. So it's a fun, your gauge is going to be how long you get relief for. Because if it's only a short period of time and you keep doing the same thing over and over and it's not helping long term, wrong location or too much of one thing. Okay.
So you should only use it maybe once for a few minutes and then not have to do it again for several days. Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, if you're like digging in and getting all sorts of good spots for like 15 minutes, and then you get 3 good days of great relief and good movement out of that, I'd say that's a good ratio and time frame. So
Okay.
I like to see at least 3 days of good movement without regressing back into that same feeling that you're getting. That's kind of 3 days is kind of my gauge of, it should be doing some benefit for longer than 1 day. So we don't want to go back and forth on that one. That makes sense. Linda, do you have anything that you use at home?
Yeah, I don't actually, I mean, I do like every day I do exercises in bed, just to wake up, stretch, move things around, do the hip stretches and paraform, stuff like that. But occasionally I do get neck, shoulder pain, which I kind of thought was stress, but I don't really know.
Oh,
So
could be.
for that I've tried the self massage. And then I do have, even though I'm a righty, I do have this wacky thing in my left shoulder where it can just like slip out. So it doesn't happen often, but I know that's my weaker side. And so I've gone back to doing this video body pump thing.
Okay.
And I think because it's a lot of bar work that stresses a nice upright position, I wonder if that's helped get, like you were mentioning, because I always think about this. I wonder if this was the problem.
I would probably say that it could have been for sure, especially if you're feeling better. And the fact that if you have something that's kind of popping out and feeling unstable, strength is one of the best things for it. Like more massage on something unstable is really not going to help it for the long term. So strengthening and being back in that position, I would totally agree that's been helpful for stabilization and posture.
Yep, exactly. And I was lucky because when my gym closed down, they gave us this free video link, and that's what I've been using.
Super. That's really great. Yeah, to keep on whatever you're doing. I find sometimes the equipment, is the problem. The gym that I go to, they were great that they checked out equipment to us. So you could get one kettlebell, one big weight plate, and a dumbbell. So for my heavy lifters in the house, they're like, sweet, we can at least have something to throw around and look at that. I was like, just put the kid on your back.
Yeah, really. Since I'm not into bodybuilding, I'm more into tone and maintaining. I just had these random tiny weights in the house, which happened to equal about what I was lifting anyway. It's like 6 pounds for each hand. I call it good, and that's the best I can do for the moment.
Perfect. No, I think that's good. Richard, did I see that you went and got something? Were you tossing no, I thought you were tossing a ball around because a lacrosse ball is one of the greatest easy tools for self-massage stuff. A tennis ball too, but lacrosse balls are great. I don't think I have my, oh, I do. Lacrosse balls are great because they're not fuzzy like a tennis ball. If you're using, yeah, or the spiky balls, they don't slip out from underneath you and then have your dog go and chase them or stuff like that. Um, so a tennis ball covered in a washcloth prevents it from rolling away, but anything about this size gets in really good locations around, and you can get curious. This one looks really funny when you put it up against the wall on your back and you just look like a grizzly bear, like rolling on it. Or the times where I'll smush my shoulder or my chest against the wall and you can't see what I'm doing. They're very fun, entertaining things, but this sucker and for your feet are easy win on that one. So any type of ball. Racket balls tend to be a little too soft. Golf balls are wicked hard. So I always tell people I'd really much rather you cover the golf ball in a washcloth or a yoga mat or something like that because you can do some damage with a golf ball. Spiky balls are one thing, Angie. This one that I have is rigid. Yours looked squishier. Is that right?
It's pretty, like you can't, whoops, I can't get near my, where's my camera?
I know.
Okay. I can't squish it
Is
very
it?
hard.
Who makes that? Is that a Moby thing or do you know who makes that?
RUBZ, Rubs.
Okay, rubs.
I got it a long time ago. I use it on my, I forgot what it's called, the area where you get plantar fasciitis.
Yeah. Arches of your foot and things like that. That's good with the extra. So all those little nubs are doing the same kind of thing as the brush. So you're getting more stimulation points. So it is essentially more for circulation than anything. It's not to annihilate the specific spots. It's just more for circulation. So
Gotcha.
that's, yeah, one of the big things to go off of. The other thing that you can totally do is put rubber bands around a tennis ball, and that helps the traction. I've had people use a wine bottle as a roller that's covered in something. I've used alcohol bottles as hand weights lately. Super entertaining. Working out so I can drink it eventually. That's a thing. But other than that, if you need help getting creative for any sort of tools, it's great. If you have, just remember, if you have those sore points and you're wanting to go rub the heck out of them, sometimes you might need to be super gentle with the spoon, and sometimes you might need to go grab the rumble roller, but your gauge is going to be how long you feel better for. And that's ultimately the thing. Heat pads before you do all of this, super awesome. I don't know if any of you follow my stuff, but I believe ice is for cocktails and not for injuries. Ice is a little too constricting on things. If you really need to numb it, great. If not, put it in your cocktail. Makes it much better that way. So those are big deals. Any questions on self-massage tools? You guys have asked great ones so far. Like, what do I actually do with this tool? How to make it less intense if you need less intensity, and figuring out what's actually causing all the soreness is one of my big fun investigations. I think that's what gives my life to my job. So if you have something that you're like, I just can't figure out this XYZ pain, shoot, contact me because I love those. They're always great.
I think I've figured it out, but working at home now, I don't have really, I have a room that's my office, but I don't have office furniture. I'm working off of a folding table. And so working out my ergonomics has been a nightmare. Like I've tried standing, but I can't find boxes that get me at the right angles. And so a lot of this all day. And so end of the week, I'm having so much pain. So between trying to rub it out with the rumble roller, or I've been using the icy hot TENS therapy. That really feels good. But then I finally figured out how to just get up more often is really my solution because I don't have an ergonomic desk yet.
Yes, movement is the answer to so many things. And yeah, I just did a session on home ergonomics, and I'm the one that's complete. I don't have an ergonomic setup. We're actually going to give my home office a huge overhaul because it's not set up right. But I'm still going to carry my laptop into the bed and on the couch. I know me. That's just me. So to figure out, if I'm going to be in this position, I know that this position is going to be my saving grace for anything and counteracting it. So I guess, Angie, go get a spatula and keep it next to your computer, and then just whack yourself in the head. Just make sure that head stays back on your shoulders, because depending on that's the biggest thing on your computer height. For some of you who are watching this right now, if it's down low, the first thing that your head's going to do is this, and then that bowling ball of a head starts pulling on those muscles, and then you're down the rabbit hole. So the best possible thing is to look really awesome this way. And I have a ream of paper and a thick book that is on my surface that raises my camera. Good ergonomics, but it's good camera angle as well. It doesn't work well if you're looking down into those sorts of things.
I had heard recently that despite everybody working from home, workers' comp claims were going up. And I was like totally shocked, but it's all home office ergonomics related. So you'll be a busy person.
Yeah, people are like, well, shoot, now they have back pain because they're sitting on the couch with their laptop and they're not moving around nearly as much as you're used to, right? Even, I home office all the time, but I'm not going anywhere in my car as much, or any sort of thing like that. So the circulation is a big deal. I'm curious how those will end up as far as I know a lot of home projects are going on. You can't get hurt at a home project and call that workers' comp because it's not for work. So
unless maybe you're organizing your home office with shelving.
There you go, right? And the hammer to the thumb. Interesting. I wonder who might bring that into fruition on a claim. Hopefully not too many, but yeah, if you're going to go out and do a bunch of yard work and then come back in and sit on your couch with your laptop, not a good combo, right? So counteracting and doing lots of movement are the name of the game. Super. You guys, good session. We're at our time, so I'm happy to answer more questions, or if anyone thinks of something later, hopefully you know how to contact me and ask it so we can cover it on the next round. But other than that, I'm going to set you all free, and I hope to have pictures of spatulas and spoons posted to my social media channel, because, and then I'll name you my marketing assistant, and we'll call it good. You can put it on your resume. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. That was really fun and informative and entertaining too.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, these were always fun.
Thank you, you guys. So you have a great rest of your day. Linda, I want to catch up sometime soon and know how you're doing because I haven't seen you a bit.
I know. I'll call you.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Have a great weekend, everyone.